All right, hello and good morning. It is 9:44 on, Monday? On Monday. So I've got some statistics in from our CrossFit Open, and I got some other events that are coming up that we're going to share. Also, the main meat of the whole podcast is going to be eating and what should you eat and how can you eat for working out. There's a whole lot of other eating podcasts I did on just nutrition in general. That general advice right there is don't eat like a death row inmate and stay away from sugar and processed foods. After that, you're probably going to be okay. But we're going to cover what to eat before you work out. I got a couple questions from that, especially with the Open being here. And then we're going to dive into some of the activities and some ideas I've got for the future for fun things for us to do. Okay, so I'm going to do the shout outs for the Open workout first because that's just super cool. So everyone is waiting for the food. Just give me a moment. You guys did really well. I was super impressed. The workout was pull-ups, double unders, thrusters. The pull-ups became pull-ups to chest to bar to bar muscle ups, and the thrusters went up in weight. For guys, it was 95, 115, and 135. So for me, really freaking heavy. But let me pull up the whiteboard to tell you some of the numbers that we see. All right, so one thing is nobody really finished the workout. Kyle did it and he said he finished, so that's possible, but he might have done it scaled. I don't know. I didn't see it, but I see 11:43. So Kyle, if you did, well done. A lot of us some of us got pretty close. So let's see here. There are 2 days we did it, on a Friday and a Saturday, so they're not going to be in order because I can't pull everybody up at one time. But we've got me at 202 reps, Andy Wilson at 200. Oh, you know, that's funny. Because my name is alphabetically before Andy Wilson, it's going to pull me up. So this is all alphabetical because we all did it in 12 minutes. So anyway, I'll just read off the scores as we go. Andy Wilson, 206. So that means 5 thrusters. So 200, I think 1 is getting into the thrusters again. Chris LaPiccolo got 152. I should put my glasses on here. CJ Carl got 162. Let's see. David got 7 thrusters short of finishing. Nice job. You did the intermediate one. That's right. Joe, 204 reps. I think he did it again and got more. I feel like that's true, but I might be cheating there. Let's see. We've got a couple. I can't tell if they're RX or scaled, so I'm going to scoot to the ladies. Casey, she did it with some scaling and actually finished it. Good job, girl. Kate Decker got into 86 reps, RX, very nice. Rebecca got through, let's see, is that RX? Looks like she did 154 reps RX. Good job. The chest to bars are a tough one. Sharon with a 184. So this is a huge one. Sharon, of course, did this with us 3 years ago, so it was a repeat workout. And she did not have bar muscle ups. This time, 3 years older, she got 13 bar muscle ups. That is freaking awesome. Let me look at, that was Friday. Let me look at Saturday. Okay, here's a couple more. Alan Lindsay, 150. Jared Taylor, 156. Ooh, so close together. Joe, yeah, there's his redo. He did 4 thrusters there. I think he did 4 thrusters before, so maybe he got exactly the same. Josh Stidham, 167. Matt Capron, 204. You guys should have seen him on the thrusters. He had 10 seconds left. Walked over to the bar, took a deep breath, and did 4 thrusters in a row at 135 pounds after doing all that other work. I'm like, holy crap. I had like 30 seconds left. I walked over to the bar, did 1 thruster, and I thought I broke my spleen. So I was out. I was done. Tom doesn't have his number in there, so I can't tell. And the rest of them are not RX. Okay, so anyway, good job, guys. Now, the question came up. I got a couple on Telegram for this survival podcast community I'm on. What do I eat before I work out? And then I had a couple from you guys. Hey, what do you eat before you work out? Because I know you're doing carnivore, so what's going on there? So I'm going to start off with this. I would not do it the way I do it. What I am doing right now is super restrictive, and I don't think it is doable by most people. Not that you guys are weak or you're mentally fortitude. I just don't think... If you roll the dice, it's going to come up more often than not that this is not sustainable for most people doing as strict carnivore as I'm doing. So I'm going to tell you what I eat, then I'm going to tell you the secret of why I can score so high, and then I'm going to walk through what should you be eating before working out. And we'll go a little bit into the other side of it because you need to, but let me jump into this. This is a video and this is a podcast, so I'll try to explain things for those that aren't watching this. I got my net diary up. When Evan picked up a Crohn's diagnosis, he said, Dad, let's try Crohn's. Let's try the Lion diet. I said, buddy, I don't want you to walk alone. I'll do it with you. The Lion Diet is basically you eat ruminant meat. So it's like cow, deer, sheep, basically red meat that eats grass. So it has like 4 stomachs. I think that's the big thing. Salt and water, and that's it. I did also add coffee in there, so I sort of cheated right from the get-go. He did it strict for 4 months and then said, hey, something changed. So he's been adding food. I really haven't added anything except for eggs because I have chickens and goat cheese because, I don't know, I like it and Evan could eat it and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. Recently, I've tried to add a little avocado and a little bit of sweet potato. I don't particularly care for the sweet potato. And if I buy avocado in a container to make it last longer, I can taste the chemicals in it and it tastes rotten to me. I can't eat it. So I can only eat fresh ones, which is super weird. So that's another thing that'll happen if you do this to yourself. Your taste buds are going to change big time. Okay, so the question is, what do you eat before working out, Andy? Every morning for the last, 9 months, because this is 9 months of carnivore, I wake up, I eat 6 eggs. Usually they're over easy because I just try to do something different. In the evening, I scramble them. So in the morning, 6 over easy eggs. Sometimes I'll drink some coffee, sometimes I won't. And I go to the gym. I always have my water that I pre-made with some electrolytes. So it's just we're on a well, and so we filter all of our water. And so it's pretty good water. And so I throw in my own electrolytes that I make. So I was using the Lmnt, but thought, I like to be granola and crunchy. Let me make my own. Plus, I think it's like 3 cents a scoop when I make my own, and it's $1.30 or $3 or whatever it is to pour in an Lmnt. So yeah, it's a little bit cheaper as well. And when you use them every day, I guess that's $365 or whatever. So maybe $500 that I can save. You do need electrolytes when you're going to eat carnivore. That's imperative. Okay, so if you're looking at the screen, this is a typical day for me. Breakfast is about 1,200 calories. Lunch is usually 2 steaks of some type, usually a New York strip or some sort of strip. It doesn't always have to be the good stuff. It could be like something that's, like $10 per pound or per ounce. Per ounce per pound? What is it? $10 per pound? Yeah, that's it. And then $1,300 for dinner again. Dinner's usually ground beef or ground something, deer, buffalo, whatever I can get. And then eggs as well. Recently, I did start putting in some spicy sauce. So there's something that's basically paprika and something else. And I just dump it in to give it a different flavor. I eat a ton of protein and fat. As a matter of fact, let me pull up the chart. Oh, actually, you can see it right here. So I got 341 grams of protein and 300 grams of fat. I did have 3 carbs because, again, the goat cheese. Okay. Should you be doing that? Absolutely not. It's, again, doing it for my son. And I actually like it. I'm feeling pretty good. 9 months into it, my blood work was looking good. I'll have probably go and get some more blood work at my in December when I turn 52. So this is not helpful for competitions. This is not why I can score well doing this stuff. This is for my son. Now, I will say this. It hasn't hindered me. So we did this workout back in 2022, and I scored 204. This time I scored 202, because I got 1 rep in the thrusters. So not mad for having no carbs inside of me at all. And, I guess 3. And being 3 years older. So how does that happen? I'll have to make a whole other podcast on... Actually, I think I already did it one time, but I'll redo it. On understanding your body and how to work out. Let's just say this. After 20 years of working out, I know my body pretty well. When a movement comes up and the workout comes out, I know how to adjust myself to pull out the maximum of what I can do. Now, this time around, I thought, I'm not feeling great, so I don't know how far I'm going to get, so I'm going to showboat. So it started off with 21 pull-ups. I just did 21 pull-ups in a row. Normally, if I run a good number, I don't do that because if you burn out your arms, you're done. And then, of course, my bar muscle-ups took a little longer to do because my arms were a bit more tired out. So I shouldn't have done that because I did okay in the workout, but I just wanted to showboat some to say, hey, look, CrossFit works. You just literally have to show up, listen to the coach. That's it. You could even half-ass this stuff. As long as you're coming 4 days a week and adjusting your diet some, you're going to crush it, absolutely crush it. Okay, so what do I eat? On Friday, we did the workout in the evening, so I went at 6 o'clock. I ate 2 New York strips at 12, and that was it. So I got all my protein and fat in right there on that meal. I knew it was going to take a while to digest. I got a little bit of coffee, and I had some electrolytes ahead of time. I did heavier up on the electrolytes, so instead of doing like 1 or 2 scoops, I did 3 scoops in my water bottle, which is this. How many ounces is in here? So I've got 34 fluid ounces, or it's 1 quart of liquid or something like that, with a scoop. And my scoop is the 1/8 of a teaspoon. So I guess 3 times, 3/8, or is it a 1/4? It's pretty small. Making sure I had enough sweat to come out, enough electrolytes to not seize up. That is one problem that I have a lot now, is getting cramps. Because I guess I don't have as much carbs. I don't really know why it happens, but I'm eating electrolytes to fix that. Okay, so what should you eat? The vast majority of you guys, to perform better in a workout, change absolutely nothing, because we're not competitors. We're just here for fun, right? Now, if you're thinking, well, I do want to dial it in a bit. Okay, this is where it gets a bit tough. You need to identify your primary goals. For example, if your primary goal is, I'm trying to fight pre-diabetes. Okay, well then, don't ever use a smoothie shake, right? Because that's got a lot of sugar in it. If your primary goal is, I'm really trying to cut weight. Okay, well then, it's going to be the type of food, weirdly not the calorie of food, that's going to be as important. So if you're going to eat a Snicker bar, then you're just screwing yourself. So don't do that. You need to change the type, get away from all the factory or the highly processed stuff. Okay. You will find that the fueling you do over a consistent pattern is better than burst pattern. So if I eat well for a month, all of my workout's going to get better. If I eat well just for the morning before, it's not really going to change too much. Now you can spike that. I know, don't do this, but you can work out really, really hard if you take some PCP or if you snort some Coke. Yeah, I mean, you're just going to not feel it and you're going to do way better. But we all know that's bad, and that's really not smart, and it's dumb. It's counterproductive. Same thing is true if you're going to be like, I'm going to douse all this caffeine and throw it in my body and use that energy to really grind it. Well, I think you're screwing yourself in the long run. Yes, you will compete better, but that's not our goal. We are happy, humble, helpful people who want to be healthy and fit now as well as in our 90s. That's our goal, not necessarily just showing on a workout. Now, you do want to be fueled properly because, especially with CrossFit, the bang for the buck comes with the intensity. So if you're not moving with some amount of intensity, then it becomes a move day and it's not doing as much for you. It might have been better just to go lift or go jog. Okay, so timing is important. What you eat is important. And I think also just as important as the recovery after it. So what are we eating afterwards? Obviously, the big macronutrients are protein, carbs, and fat. Carbs are usually what everyone's going to go to for the fueling. You know what I'm doing? It's basically just fat. And it does feel different, but you can tell by the numbers, it doesn't really matter. I may feel tired or weird, but I'm performing pretty much just the same. Okay, so if you're coming into the workout fasted, I guess this is for the early morning workout people. If you're coming in fasted, you may consider electrolytes at a minimum, maybe some black coffee. You could do the bulletproof coffee. So it got a little bit of butter, some MCT oil, and maybe some collagen, right? Now you're building up that coffee to be something a little bit more. Here's what I would do in all cases. Take notes and journal it. Get yourself a notebook or do it on your phone, I guess, because you can do that nowadays. And, where is my phone? I was going to show you, but I can't. You can just go to the notepad and start making notes for yourself. Or, man, I am okay with this. Text me what you ate and then tell me how the workout went. You can journal it with me. I would love to walk along in this journey with you. My number is 678-654-7796. Yes, I know I just gave it out on the internet. So what? It's all, my phone number is the phone number on our website. So when you call, you get Andy McCann. You get a live person. Although we are experimenting with Tiffany, my AI gym assistant, or my gym wife, right? It was going well until they reset it. So I'm going to have you guys help me with this in a little bit. All right. What else would I do? The next step I would take is, if you're not struggling with like pre-diabetics or diabetes in that area, I would do the whey and water, right? So I would get, we have the Driven products up front. The whole reason I like the Driven products, well, 2 reasons. One is three, I guess. One is it tastes pretty good. 2, it mixes really well in water, so you can just use water as your base. And 3, I know it's a clean source. They've vetted their process, and a lot of CrossFitting gyms use it. And so trust the people that you trust, right? So I'm going to trust those guys. Here's another one that was kind of a go-to in my own smoothie. So I, once again, created my own things, just like I create my own electrolytes. I had my, I should probably link it in here. If you go to @AndyMcCann42 on YouTube and you type in smoothie, you'll see my smoothie. I drank that smoothie for like 15 years every morning. It was basically this guy right here. It's banana with some sort of nut butter, like a peanut butter or almond butter. I would probably do half a banana, or maybe at the beginning do a quarter of a banana and just take a spoonful and wipe it on there and eat it and see how you do. If it was enough, great, leave it there. If it wasn't enough, try some more, right? But make the notes and figure out what you're doing and how it's impacting you. If you don't document it, then I don't know, you're just gonna like miss all that stuff, right? You're never going to know what was working. Okay, so if you're working out midday or later on, I mean, your whole day is behind you. You had to have eaten. So this is where you really need to be like thinking smart on your choices, not just right that moment, but forever. So nutrition becomes a whole thing, not just a momentary thing I do because I went to work out. So many people, I'm going to tell you what they do. I don't do this. I'm going to tell you things I legitimately don't do. And after doing what I've done with this carnivore for so long, I don't think I'll ever go back. But anyway, most people, what they're going to do is some sort of chicken and rice. So it's, the chicken is going to be, high in the protein, not as high in the fat, and the rice is going to give you the carbs. So it's going to give you that burning. So protein for building the muscles, and then the carbs for the movement. That's one way to do it. Another way is to go more fat-based. So this is a Greek yogurt. It's got a little bit of protein, more fat, and you can throw in some honey and some berries to kind of spice it up. I like plain Greek yogurt, but I mean, I'm a weird person when it comes to eating. Not many people feel the way I feel. So I don't think it's that bad. But you can do that. That's going to push you along more on the fat side with carbs. Again, see carbs, right? The other one, and I would do this and did it for a while, is scrambled eggs with some sweet potato. The eggs are going to give you the fat and the protein. The sweet potato is some more of the carbs, a little bit of fat. It's probably, in my opinion, a better mixture. But you can try these things and then make notes and see which one actually works for you. Because I have chickens, I would totally opt for throwing an egg into whatever I'm eating. All right, so once again, for you keto and carnivore people, electrolytes of black coffee, hard-boiled egg, maybe some beef jerky, bone broth. Depends on like what your gut health is into, but you're just staying off of carbs, so that's a thing, right? Okay, let's go to the next thing. I think it's pretty important, which is hydration and electrolytes. Even if you're doing normal eating, you still want to be consuming some electrolytes. We're going to sweat out a lot. In the front of our office, I've got some Lmnt packets. You can buy one and try it out. I like it, but I was using them so much, and so was Evan, and then Levi. I was like, look, I just need to learn how to make this on my own, which you could totally do. They have the recipe online. It's actually, I have a video. If you go again at AndyMcCann42 and then type in electrolytes on YouTube, you're going to see the video I made for that. So you definitely want to do that. You want to get, your sodium, potassium, and magnesium. If you feel any type of cramping, then usually it's some sort of electrolyte. Actually, if you feel a little bit off, sometimes you add salt, just a little bit more salt to your day, or just like put it under your tongue and it'll pep you back up. So there is a thing where maybe we're not getting enough salt. So they've demonized salt for a very long time. And now they're saying, okay, well, maybe we're wrong. So let me tell you this. I eat more salt now than I ever have in my life. I actually spent, I guess, probably 15 years not salting my food, figuring I was probably getting enough salt from everywhere else. And now I salt the crap out of everything. And my sodium numbers after the blood, when the second blood work came back, was lower than when I wasn't using salt at all. So I don't know. Your body is awesome at adapting. And I think it just said, hey, I don't need to hold on to the salt. He's giving me enough or something. Anyway, my blood work was looking pretty good, even with a ton of salt. Blood pressure is normal. And my cholesterol is super high, but it's with all the good stuff. So that's another thing they lied to you about. LDL is not necessarily bad cholesterol. You have to go look that up on your own. If you go get blood work, get the advanced lipid study as well. Okay, so the type of work you're doing does matter as well. You don't need as much in the idea of energy systems, carbohydrates, if you're going in for a lift. If you're going on a longer run, most people are going to say, hey, load up on carbohydrates. I would actually go the other way and say load up on fats. It's a longer burning substance rather than poofing out real quick with carbohydrates. So you kind of have to figure out what you're doing. Is it lifting? Is it a long Metcon? Is it really endurance or something like that? And then adjust. If you're going to be, like for me, when we get out in the woods and jog for 12 or 24 hours for these races, you have to eat pretty much every hour. And essentially what we're eating, me and Evie, we're doing what I call a wagon wheel. It's basically a piece of deli meat and a piece of cheese, and then a pickle and some mustard. and we roll that up and we eat it. And we just have a bunch of those and other stuff, but it's essentially that. She'll eat other things that are, normal kids would eat. I don't eat anything. Like, there's no bars for me. Everything is just something I made. Typically I will bring a banana with me. Last time I didn't eat it, but if I start to feel weird, then I'll go for it. Because again, solve one problem at a time. I am not there to make a statement about carnivore and working out. I'm there to be with my daughter. So she's like, let's skip that checkpoint. I'm like, yeah, let's skip it. Let's just keep going. So if I'm the one causing the problem because my fitness or my body is not responding well, then I'm messing up the whole adventure. So I'm not going to let that get in the way. So my needs to connect with my daughter way far outweighed my need to stay on carnivore. And I think Evan would forgive me for getting off track. Plus, he's kind of off track as well. He's already experimenting with new foods. Okay. There is something that I would ask you to try. And then, again, mark it down, see how it goes. So 1 is caffeine, obviously. 2 is creatine. We have some up front. I can buy more if anybody wants to, split it and whatever. Try it for a bottle's worth. So that what would that give you? About maybe a month to 3 months, depending on how much you're dosing on it. So far, a creatine is basically it is, if you're a vegetarian, then you don't want this. It is a meat isolate. The creatine particles. It's a basically refined meat, if you will. That's not really what it is, but that sounds all right. And since the 80s, they've been using it, and they have yet to find any negative effects for it. It will help you retain some water, which will make you look a little bit bigger. It will also have your muscles build better, so you will actually be stronger. Girls, you typically don't want to do too much of this because you don't want to be bulky. Guys, you're like, yes, I do want to be bulky. It doesn't always work the same way for people. I know Louis used it and he got pretty big. I have tried a little bit before and nothing actually happened. I probably did it wrong. So it's going to be different. There is also beta-alanine or BCAAs and other things you can use that'll basically open up your capillaries like a caffeine. Some of them make you itchy, so just watch out. They're good to try. Make notes to yourself. See what works for you. Okay, again, if you're like, I just started going, do I really need to adjust my diet? No, just show up. Rule number 1 is, Matt Caprone changed my rule number 1. Rule number 1 is have fun. Rule number 2 is show up. Rule number 3 is don't do anything stupid to prevent yourself from showing up the next time, right? So how do we do that? A lot of it is actually in the recovery side. So your body is in an absorption mode when you're done working out. There's about 30 minutes where your body is really craving things to replenish, especially protein. This is where I would eat something and maybe use something like a protein shake because it's easy. You mix it with water, shake, and you can drink it down. Protein that you drink will absorb much faster than protein you chew. That being said, I am always a fan of real food first. So if you could bring an egg, chew it up, great. I don't know who wants to eat an egg right after working out, but you can. We have beef jerky up front. You can try that out. Try things. Note it down. See what actually works for you. The other thing that I would really be doing is on the recovery is spending time to roll out and stretch. Most of you guys, as soon as he says time and you're done, you're out the door. That's bad for your body. You want to give a bigger bang for the body and help your workouts be better? Get mobile, be supple. So many times people are saying, they'll ask, what is the best supplement for an athlete or a CrossFit athlete? And I would say the best supplement is real food. I have a podcast on that. I think it's called The Best Supplement is Real Food. Eat real food first. Then supplement where you're deficient. So get some blood work done and find out where you're deficient and see what supplements you can take there. It's probably a good idea to have some fish oil for inflammation, or just stop eating sugar and refined foods. That'll stop your inflammation. Or some creatine. You could eat more protein. So I'm not a huge fan of supplements. Yes, we sell them up front because most of you aren't going to do the stupid thing like me, which is the hard thing is I just won't eat that. Think to yourself, when's the last time you had dessert? Okay. For me, it was about 20 years ago. So who wants to live a life like that? I do. I don't know why, but I enjoy it. So don't be like that. All right. The next one is hydration. Obviously, be drinking water. I would add some electrolytes in there, even if it's just a little bit. Maybe even just dab some salt into your water. Get a little salty water. There is also the idea of eating to gain strength, converse to eating to lose weight, right? So this is I can't really go into this podcast. I'd have to do another one, or you can look back at the old ones. It's not always calories in, calories out. It really depends on what you're eating. It's not always drop the calories to lose weight. Sometimes you need to increase the calories to turn other systems back on in your body because, hey, maybe you get sick too often because you're not eating enough and it shuts your immunity down. You need to experiment. Typically, girls are going to be about 2,000 calories a day. Guys are about 2,400 calories a day, typically. Does that mean everybody's there? No. But if you're living your life at 1,000, man, you're hurting yourself. That's not a great place to be. Okay, so my recommendation, one, if you're just getting into all this, don't do anything different. If you're trying to make your open workout better, then yes, it's going to be things like caffeine and beta-alanine, the itchy stuff, like pre-workout. You also probably want to time it because working out in the morning is easier than the afternoon because you're not tired from the day, right? You do want to fuel yourself, but not be like we had pull-ups. I had 2 steaks. I didn't want to eat those 2 steaks and then go work out an hour later because I'm going to be heavier. So I wanted the opportunity to process that and use the bathroom, right? So be smart on that. Take notes. Do one thing at a time. Don't change 8 things and then wonder what the hell was the right thing to change. Change one thing, try it for a week. Change another thing, try it for a week. It doesn't have to be complicated, and it is pretty easy if you take it in small chunks. Okay, next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is the fun stuff coming up. So, I had this pulled up. Let's see. In the gym right now, I forgot to do this one. In the leaderboard for the gym on RX, we have got Sharon Smith, and then Caroline Haynes, and then Kate Decker, and Akila. Good job, ladies. That is women's RX. Let's see if there's a women's scale. Does it give me that? No. On the guys' RX for the leaderboard for our gym is Joe Smith, then Andy McCann, Josh Stidham, Vinay, Alan Lindsay, Louis Judge, Chris LaPiccolo, Jared Taylor, Sam Ponce, Stuart Brady, Skylar Smith. We got, John, Tom, Nick, and Jordan. Jordan, looks like you forgot to put in your scores. Oops. Let's see if they give us a scaled option. Oh, they do. That was already in the other one. Okay, perfect. And there's a foundations one. I forgot about that. That's if you're brand new. All right, some other things we're looking at. We got a couple of guys doing high rocks in it. We're looking at maybe becoming an affiliate and doing some training here. I think the way we would do it is offer like a 10 a.m. class that is high rocks, and you can practice these events. Because as I learn more, it's not that you're coming in training high rocks every day. It's just I need to use specific equipment. So we're looking into that and seeing how it's going to work. There's an event coming up. I think I want to say it's April 13th, something like that. I don't see it in here. I don't see Atlanta. Where are you? High Rocks Shanghai. There was a High Rocks Atlanta somewhere. Belgium. Well, let's see if I can pick North America. That'd be a better pick, wouldn't it? Houston, Washington, D.C., Miami, Atlanta, there it is. Yeah, April, I was right. April 26th is the High Rocks here in Atlanta. So we got a couple guys doing that one. We're also considering being a DecaFit affiliate, which would essentially, it's the same thing. You don't train these all the time. Basically, you do CrossFit to train for it, but it would allow us to host some sponsor or some events. It'd be interesting. The other one that I'm interested in personally, the other ones are to me, but this is really cool. This is called the Tactical Games. Jeff Binky brought it up, and I had meant to do some research, and it popped up again on my radar the other day. Essentially, it's like doing CrossFit or High Rocks, except with a gun. So you do some sort of shoot with an AR and then a shoot with a pistol. I don't really know the details. Jeff said in our men's group, hey, I'll meet up and talk to you about it. There is an event in South Carolina. Let me find it. I think it's like May or July. Texas. Oh, there it is right there. Laurels, South Carolina, which is only like maybe 2 hours away. And on May 10th. I'm thinking about going out to that. I don't think I'll compete. I might just go out and see what they're doing or volunteer just so I can understand what's happening. We'll see. It could be a good excuse for me to buy another gun. I mean, there's never a bad time to buy a gun. So maybe I will compete. The next thing is we have the Warrior Adventure races. We've got a couple races coming up. Let's see. How do I get to their list? There we go. So a couple of us are going out to Swamp Fox this coming weekend. Yeah, I'm going to miss the Open. I'll have to do it on Thursday as soon as they announce it. Thursday. Evie and I and Jordan are going to go out to Oak Mountain and do some adventure racing if he registers. Then there's Blue Ridge. That is May 3rd and 4th. That's the Blue Ridge Adventure Race up in Blue Ridge. And Evie and I are doing that. And then Randy Skeen and his wife, Danielle, are doing it as well. So if any of you guys are interested, let us know. You can join our merry band. Basically, you just register your team. You can even go solo and then run with us. You don't have to stay with us if we're too slow. I will be happy to teach you how to read a map. That's the biggest part of it. The other thing we're looking at is Festivus. So we used to do a lot of competitions. I'm not a huge fan of the personality of many of the competitors at the high level. They're just, oh man, they're tough. But I am a fan of competitions, and there's scaled competitions like Festivus. So I was listening to Skylar and Chris talk about an event, and I thought, yes, there is a lot of joy in doing the event. So what if it's scaled? Whatever. We're still doing it and it's fun. So I'm looking at these guys. I think they're possibly changing the name of it, but it's still the same thing. It's just an event for the new. Or maybe not the new, but maybe an event for people who are like, I can't do bar muscle ups. Great. They're not going to be in that. Oh, and I meant to bring up, we're going to try to bring back, I meant to do it last year. I just ran out of time for all the things I was trying to do. It's the gym resolutions. We do the same 3 workouts every year, and you can compare yourself against your other notes. We also have our D&D and board gaming group that we're running. So if you guys are interested in D&D and or board games, text me, let me know. I'll get you on the list. And the last thing was, the men's group. So we started a men's group. We met once, and then I think we're meeting again on the 23rd. This is men getting together, talking about man things and doing man stuff. So we're planning on doing some sort of cool outside pushy event, like hike the Georgia Appalachian Trail, which is 90 miles. So we probably wouldn't hike all that. Climb Blood Mountain, run up Stone Mountain. I don't know, something, right? So we're talking about those things. If you're interested, please just give me a shout. I'd be happy to get you on board. And of course, along with D&D is a board game night. So we kind of flip back and forth between those sometimes. All right, guys, this is Andy McCann, your host on Food, Fitness, and Finance, where we're trying to help you lay a firm foundation in those 3 things. If you're here in Woodstock, Georgia, come join us. If you're not in Woodstock, Georgia, we do have GarageFitness.online that you can sign up for. It is currently free for the year of 2025 as we build it out. We're using Brandon Phillips programming and helping you utilize your home gym. If you got a home gym, great. If you don't, it's probably not the right thing for you. If you want to follow programming, and you're like, I don't have a home gym, but I do want to follow something. If you go to my website, CrossFitGarage.com, and you click on gym information and then hover down to WOD, workout of the day, we actually post our workout right there. And at the very bottom, there is an at-home option. So you can do this at home. You can follow along with us and just simply do it at home. If you want to log your scores in our Wodify system, let me know. I'll set you up with a pretty cheap membership, basically to cover the cost of Wodify. It'd be like something like, I don't know, like $10 a month. And you can log all your stuff and keep track with us. All right, guys, y'all take care.